Hello everyone, my name is M.Tommy, Pastor of Peace Ark Ministry. It's a wonderful day right here, and I'm super excited to be on your screen. Yeah, I'm headed back from work, but I just feel like doing this before I get so busy with church and everything by tomorrow. You see, I like saying this to people around me. I don't want anybody to learn from my mistake. I don't want anybody to learn from my mistake. I want to learn from the mistake of others. I'm not intentionally saying people should fall into mistakes, but when I see people make mistakes, I learn from their mistake. I don't wait to it to get to me first. I know before I start saying, oh, I did. I learn from every mistake I see. I learn a lot in situations where people are shouting. I learn what is the lesson. That's just me. That's my personal, life. I learn from mistakes. Please and please, if you are watching this video right now and your shoulders are like this, drop them down. If you are watching these videos and your intention, you're like, if not me, if I'm not the one, if I didn't do it, if I won't do it, nobody will do it. Drop it down. Oh. Drop it down, sir. If you joke with anything, don't joke with church. Don't joke with men or women of God. Whatever you want to do, do. Whatever you want to assume, assume. Whatever you want to do, just do. But don't take your play, your ego, your pride, your I too know, your human knowledge to deal with spiritual things. You will fail woefully. I've learned that over time. I say you will fail woefully. Are you a pastor? You're in a church? Say, if I'm not there, the pastor won't be able to do this. You fail. It's a lie. Are you a minister? Are you an evangelist? Are you an assistant? Wherever? And you say, if I'm not there, that church cannot stand. That it's a lie. It will stand, it will excel, and you will understand that God is not a man. Most times you use the ideology of your secular job, your office, your career. You use that to presume and assume how things happens in church. Sometimes because you are closer to the pastor, you are closer to the general overseer, after all, I know nothing. No matter how close you are to the pastor, no matter how close you are to the pastor or to the general overseer, God is still the boss. He's still in charge. He's still the infinite one that runs the face of the church. You can see the end of the pastor, see the end of the minister, the general overseer, but you cannot see the end of God. Why am I saying this? I'm still reminding you, everyone, all the disciples that left the synagogue of all nations have now understood. We were enjoying grace. Oh. This thing is covenant. It's not all about what I know. It's not all about staying with Prophet Trisha for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. It's the grace of Prophet Trisha that was covering all of you. Go run church now. Go and run church and see the way it is. Gather people together on your own. Run it every service day for 2 years, for 3 years. Attend to people's need. Attend to their prayers and all that. You will understand exactly what you are enjoying. See, let your pride be subdued by the Spirit of God. Let your pride be subdued by the Spirit of God. Don't you ever say, after I've been with him, I know the in and out of this thing. You don't know the in and out of anything. Whatever you knew, you thought and you think you knew, and you know. All those things are all given to you by God. I mean, God gives you the leverage for you to operate like that. If you walk out of grace and covenant, you realize that you cannot do anything. Remember what happened between Isaac and God. Isaac went and told God, thank you for prospering me and blessing me and did this. God said, sir, hold on. I'm not doing this thing because of you. I'm doing this stuff because of your father Abraham. Remember the covenant God had with David. Two very good examples. The first time, There was a time David was to be killed. People were enemies everywhere. I said, remember, you see, David, you can't destroy David because David had a covenant of salt with God. And another time, God told David, you see, there will never cease to be a man from your loins that will sit on the throne of Israel. Okay? Nobody. Anyone that sits on that throne has to be from your loins, from your lineage. If that man comes, which is your son, messed up, I won't utterly take the throne away from him. I would the kingdom away. I would divide the kingdom because of the covenant I have with you. It has always been like that. The covenant that God had with Prophet Tip Joshua remains with Prophet Tip Joshua. So if you continue to stay under that covenant, not using his name, because most of them are using his name now. It's not the name. You are out of the covenant. You know that your heart is not connected again. You have nothing to do with the salvation of all nations. You are out of that covenant. You may want to use his name. It won't work because you are not in the spirit. You are not there again. The covenant of the synagogue of all nations is what is running that church today. All right. Mommy is finding it. Comes in there and everything is already working now because there is a covenant. The evangelists are leveraging on the covenant God had with Prophet Tip Joshua. Everybody are leveraging on the covenant God had with Prophet Tip Joshua. Even when at the old age where God will take mommy, the church will still continue. There will be no difference because God had a covenant with that man, Prophet Tip Joshua. And as long as you're connected to that as long as you're connected to that grace, you will operate under that grace and you will have the benefit of that grace. Because God had told Prophet Joshua, I'm going to make this church a church of all nations. And it's still going to be a church of all nations. Signs and wonders, this and that will happen. So the covenant is for life. David was not there again when Solomon was on the throne, but he was enjoying the benefits of the covenant God had with David. Abraham was not there when Isaac invested and had that turnover, but he was enjoying the benefit of that. His father. Bring yourself down. See me? I can do whatever I want to do in my business. I don't joke with God. When I get to the church, even as a pastor, as a lead pastor, I humble myself because God can even replace me. God can use anybody. So I humble myself to the call to do what God asked me to do and do it well. And you see, the reason till tomorrow, as I said, the reason why loyalty, I understand what loyalty and respect is. I understand the things I'm benefiting from being under the covenant of the synagogue of all nations. I understand. So you can't talk me out. There's nothing you can do to talk me out. I understand. I know what I'm benefiting there. There was a time I was conducting deliverance. It was tough. It was tough, but when I said I stepped into the shoe of my father, Prophet T.B. Joshua, the moment I said that, and I stretched forth my hand, the demon left. The lady fell on the ground. I mean, instantly. After spending like 1 hour trying to deliver that demon, I said I stepped into the shoe of my father, Prophet T.B. Joshua. The moment I made that pronunciation, the demon left. That's what I'm talking about. So nobody, no amount of, I don't just know. I don't just know. I've disciplined myself to that point. I'm so principled to that point that you don't talk me out of what I know, what I believe, and what I hold on to. And I don't do things I don't know. So for me to pronounce and declare and confess the selection of all nations, standing with mommy, standing with I know exactly what I'm doing. It's conviction. Nobody have sent me to do it. It's a personal conviction by the Holy Ghost that I'm doing this thing. Humble yourself. Are you a minister? Are you a pastor, a choir leader, or whatever in your church? Humble yourself. God can replace you. And when you walk out of grace, you realize that the things you were enjoying was not because you know how to sing, you know how to preach, you know how to do this. It's just because God gave you that leverage to do it. Hope you understand what I'm saying. Don't forget, let nobody learn from your mistake. Keep learning from others' mistake. And when you see mistakes, make sure you learn. Don't just shout. Don't just talk. When you see situation, learn. Prophet Teacher will say, turn it to a life lesson. So it becomes a life lesson. That's me. All right, guys. Good morning and win forever. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to share. God bless you. Love y'all.